Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mulson-Zia Missing. Also brought to you by Elam Network, the think tank of the future. Also the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David, available on Amazon, keyword Serena Wagner Sweet Psalmist. Also brought to you by Hi-Tan Music. Check out our latest at hightanmusic.com. We're here with a terrific gentleman from Queensland, Australia. He's a multi-talented country singer, songwriter, born and raised on a dairy farm in New Zealand. Now makes his home in Queensland along the Gold Coast. He's heavily involved in country music scene in New Zealand, Australia, and the U.S., and began his career at an early age, spanning over 40 years, and he's got numerous followers on YouTube, Spotify, and many digital platforms. He's also had Let It Be Me, For the Life of Me, and more. And he's got a new release called Suzanne, which also features Hold Your Head High. We'll talk more about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, the Plus Studio, somewhere on the Gold Coast of Queensland, the amazing multi-talented country singer, born and raised on a dairy farm in New Zealand, now in Queensland, the multi-talented Don Allen, best known as the Don. Don, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Mike, a pleasure, buddy. Real good to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on board as well, too, Don. You're a multi-talented country singer-songwriter, born and raised on a dairy farm in New Zealand. Now you're in Queensland, Australia. You're heavily involved in country music scene in New Zealand, Australia, and the U.S. You began a career at an early age, spanning over 40 years. You have numerous followers on YouTube, Spotify, and many digital platforms. You also had some other releases out there like Let It Be Me, For the Life of Me, One for the Road, Only Time Will Tell, 90 Proof, and I can tell you got some of that. And also you got your new release called Suzanne, which also features Hold Your Head High. We'll talk about that. And before getting all that done, tell us how you first got started.
Tell you what, sorry?
Yeah, tell us how you first got started. Go away.
Oh, sorry, okay. you speak real fast. Okay.
That's my job, so.
Yeah, okay. Years and years ago, when I was being brought up on the dairy farm, actually, my mum and dad had two albums, two long-playing albums. One was a Slim Whitman album, and one was a Jim Reeves album.
Ooh,
and that's all they had, and that's all I started playing them. I started getting interested in them and listening to that country music at about the age of 10, 11, and really loved it, really sort of got to like that sort of music. And that's basically how it all started. And then I started, milking the cows, helping my dad milk the cows and singing in the cow shed.
Oh, and, singing to the cows, huh? While you're
absolutely milking,
yeah. Milking and singing. That's a really good combination. Love it.
But I don't know whether my dad ever thought so, because that's where I was learning how to yodel. I was trying to imitate Slim Whitman in those days, and I did. I managed it in the end, but I think my dad might have he didn't really sort of think it was real good for the cows, But anyway, yeah, so that's how I got started, and it went from there basically. When I was about 15 on the farm, I found out that just across a couple of hours across over top of the mountain and into another province in New Zealand, there was a country music club happening, and so I started going to that, and that's how the first time up on stage was at the country music club, and that was real great grounding for me to get out there and, I guess, try and prove myself, get out and see if I can sing on stage just as good as you guys can, and all this sort of stuff, and it worked. It was great. It was great grounding.
Oh my gosh, that is something. 15 years old, you make the stage and making a big presence. And what was that one exact precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
That's a good question. I mean, I used to, what can I say? It's when I was coming up through the country music field and getting to really love the music, which I did. It was my favorite artist at that particular time was when I got a hold of a Conway Twitty album, and I started playing Conway Twitty stuff and sitting down and listening to it, and basically getting high on that music because it was just so beautiful, and the steel playing and that sort of thing. And so I did. I was actually in after a time. I did a couple of television shows in New Zealand at that stage, and they touted me as New Zealand's Conway Twitty, because I was able to sort of get that emulate his sound too, you know. So
Very nice.
and that's basically that was I think that was the epitome of where I got the love of country music from, was actually from Conway Twitty. I must put it all on him. And then of course it all branched out from there, like other artists, Charlie Pride, for instance. I love Charlie Pride. Hank Williams Jr. loved him. Loved, Waylon and Merle Haggard and George Jones, and that's where my forte lies, within that sort of genre.
Oh my gosh, that's something. You've been influenced by Slim Whitman and of course Jim Reeves and Conway Twitty, George Jones, and besides those, who are some other favorite singer songwriters and musicians growing up? Your other ones?
The other ones,
Yes.
Oh look, Alan Jackson, of course, yeah. But one of the biggest influences in my career, in how I basically got my voice as to where I wanted it, was I can't go past the fact that Elvis Presley was my biggest influence. Like I just loved his voice. I loved his music. I loved his the way he put drama in so much of his songs, and just huge finishes and that sort of thing. And of course, that's where I got all that from too. So he was one of the biggest influences, I guess, in an overall musical field. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and of course you're also a big influence in Australian, New Zealand country music, and you got your own as well. We'll talk about your releases plus your upcoming as well with the amazing Don Allen, best known as the Don. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon, paperback, and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon, paperback, and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews, even endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes, Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Illumnifical, the think tank of the future that brings scientists and engineers together from all over the world, creating a method that constructs a renewable generator, which is a unique product. Operates on a closed loop system that generates more energy internally than it needs to function. This extra electricity can be used to run everything from homes, power grids, phones, and even laptops. This power source is renewable, highly scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerating. For more information, visit facebook.com/Illumniptical. That's Illumniptical today. Also, Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote in his time as a shepherd, where it all started. His complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul also comes into play. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keywords: Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by Hi-Tan Music, featuring smash hit Baby Comeback, and new music coming soon. Listen for the tales at hitanmusic.com. Also, take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're on 40 podcast platforms in over 100 countries. And for great gift ideas, we encourage you to go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show. If you're interested in this merchandise, please message me as well. And also, you can check out the Mia Molson-Zia's merchandise, including Missing, books, wrinkles, and also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. You heard the amazing multi-talented Don Allen, best known as the Don, here on the Mike Wagner Show, being involved in country music scene, New Zealand, Australia, and the U.S. He's been doing it for 40 years as well. And before we get to some of your music, tell us about your journey going from New Zealand over to Queensland.
Yeah, I actually left New Zealand to go to America. in about 1980 with a young family. I had a 2-year-old and a 2-month-old girls. And I decided I wanted to go to the States for no other reason. I just was infatuated with the States. And so, yeah, we took off. I took off first, and I got over there a couple of weeks earlier than my wife and kids at that stage. And I heard of a couple of guys in Sacramento, that a couple of Kiwi guys that from New Zealand that were had started a business in AHI roofing system over there in California. So I got a hold of them, and I went to there and actually worked with them for a while. But of course, with having a young family, my main reason to go to the USA was to get to Nashville, and I never quite did that on that day. In those days, I did meet up with a guy called Ron Schmick, and he had Easy Living Country television show actually in those days, and I did a talent show, and Ron Schmick was there, and along with Joey Mitchell out of Crack Radio at that stage, out of Sacramento. And so I did a TV show with them also, which was great in those days. I won the talent show, and then they asked me to do the show. So, and so it was a matter of I was based in Sacramento, but never then got the time to go through to Nashville. And I sort of, and then at the end of the day, your older immigration authorities over there decided I'd stayed there long enough, and they wouldn't extend my visa anymore. So I had to get out of the country. But anyway, so on our way back to New Zealand, we had a stopover in Australia. And that stopover has now been like about 45 years.
Wow, something.
Yeah. So I never got back to New Zealand. I go back there quite often to New Zealand, but never got back there to live again, which I don't regret. I mean, Australia's been great for me, and I have met my new lady here in Australia, just over here.
Come on over. Don't be shy.
That's Liddy.
Hi.
And so, we're very happy. Yeah.
All right. We're glad to have you on, and tell us a bit about what you do. I guess not. It's perfectly okay. So.
Oh, she was going to, he wanted to tell you, wanted you to tell him what you do. She bosses me around, basically.
Yes.
That's basically it, mate. Yeah.
All right. We're glad you got to show up and everything. So we'll have you on as well. Maybe you got some singing and everything. Oh, and speaking of singing too, before we get to your latest, Suzanne, plus Hold Your Head High, you also have Let It Be Me, For the Life of Me, also One for the Road, Only Time Will Tell, and 90 Proof. And tell us more about those.
Yeah, it's all been a great experience. All the albums that I've done. The Let It Be Me was my first album, and that came up exceptionally well. That was recorded here in Australia, and I think the second one was too. But and then I did 2 albums in the States, in Nashville, and now I'm recording back with a recording company here in Australia on the Gold Coast, actually, and they've been doing such great work for me. They were the ones that produced Hold Your Head High, and also produced now Suzanne. And we've got another couple that are ready to come out. I've got one that I did send you that we will be next week. Hopefully we will get that out, that particular one. They have done such a great job of those songs.
Yes, that's the one that is a remake, and there is a good chance that will get played at the end of the audio interview. I'm glad you brought that up. So I was the one to listen to a preview, and it is a smash. You talked about Suzanne as well, and tell us more about the song and what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, well, which one? Suzanne?
Suzanne, yes.
Suzanne, in actual fact, Suzanne, I'm so happy with that one at the moment. It's number 2 on the charts over here, hopefully heading for number 1. So that's something pretty big. And but that was actually, I didn't write Suzanne. That was a friend of mine has got a band, old rock and roll type band, and they bought a CD into. I had a honky tonk at one stage, and they bought a CD into my honky tonk and asked, you know, so I could have a listen to it. And that particular song was on the CD, and it was written by one of the boys out of the band. I said, well, I wouldn't mind recording that one if you wouldn't. Yeah, go ahead, just do it. So that's what we did, and he's heard it since, and he's just rapped with what we've done with the song, and it does remind us all of a little bit of the Mavericks type style. That particular song, yeah, we could hear the Mavericks doing that, but yeah, so we're just so happy with that one. We have, as I say, this next one is obviously a remake of a huge gospel song that's coming out, and then after that one we have another one which is in the vein of Suzanne, but it's a different song again, but it'll be just as popular as Suzanne. Hold Your Head High is another kettle of fish. That I went on tour when I first came to Australia. I hooked up with some of the bigger name acts here at that stage, and we went on tour of New South Wales basically, and just in the bus, in the tour bus, going around looking at all the countryside, and I wrote the song Hold Your Head High, which was basically my one and only Australiana type thing that I've written, and so it encompassed what I saw basically, and then I also involved the returned soldiers, the diggers and all that sort of thing. As far as we're concerned here down under, they were diggers, they were called, and so that song, we thought we had a number one with that particular song, but Australia thought different for some reason, and yet it's still very, very popular overseas. New Zealand, they're playing it, so we just can't understand what went wrong with that one. And we still play it. They're still getting airplay now, but it's just one of those ones that I love the production. What was done with the song at the end of the day, it was great. The video, we've got a live video out on that one also. But yeah, so it sits there. I think it'll go again. I think somebody will pick it up over here and say, oh, hell, we could put that in front of a TV show or something,
Oh yeah. I think that's a great idea as well too. And of course, if there's other music we haven't hit upon, tell us about those and what inspired you to write them.
Sorry.
If there's other music we haven't mentioned, like any songs or anything like that has not been mentioned,
oh yeah,
well, about those and what inspired you to write them.
Yeah, we got like a lot of my stuff on these albums. There's always like a song called "Talking Dirty," which I wrote and recorded "Talking Dirty" in the early '90s, about '91. I recorded it. Now, when that was released here in Australia, no one would play it because it was a little too promiscuous in those days. And so then when I did my first my second album, I think it was in Nashville, we re-recorded that again, and it shot to number one. It was just one of those songs that they had to be up there, but nobody was. And then a mate of mine over in the States, actually, he wrote a song, and what was it called? Maybe that
Liquor Up.
Liquor Up, yeah, a song called Liquor Up, and great song, great up tempo type thing, and just a great lyrics. The whole thing was, and that one actually was picked up by Cashbox over there, and went number one on the
nice
country chart, yeah, and Cashbox, yeah, which that was a feather in my cap too.
My God, you got some great stuff. And what else is coming up for the Don as well, too, or better known as Don Allen? We'll find out in just 1 minute. You're listening to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Songwriter Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. Also brought to you by Illuminate, the think tank of the future, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner. You can check it out, Sweet Psalmist on Amazon, keyword Serena Wagner, and also Sweet Psalmist. Also brought to you by Hi-Tan Music. Check out our latest at HiTanMusic.com. We'll be back with the multi-talent Don Allen, best known as The Don, after this time up. Way back in a multi-talented country singer, songwriter, born and raised on a dairy farm in New Zealand, now in Queensland. Don Allen, best known as the Don on the Mike Wagner Show. He covered Suzanne plus Hold Your Hand, and a surprise release will be playing at the end of the audio interview. And just a few more things, Don. What else can we expect from you in 2024 and beyond?
2024, yeah, look, I am thinking if I should put out another album, but I don't need to sort of do too much work for the next album because I've pretty much got it all there. I've still got songs in the can that I've done in Nashville with my producer over there, a guy called Kenny Lee, actually, great producer. So we've still got stuff in the cans there that we can put onto another album, which will be great. I need to 2025. I'm hoping that I will get back over to your country. I want to be part of the ISSA Awards next year, and also the Josie Awards, which I had been in when Josie Awards first started. I was finalist in 2 years. I went, and I haven't entered anything since. Actually, COVID stopped all that for me, as coming over to America and that sort of thing for a while. So, but yeah, so we hope to get over there in 25 for that, and get up around your area and come and meet you.
All right. Well, certainly looking forward to it, and looking forward to coming to the States again, maybe venture a little further north. And we'd love to have you on down. In the meantime, where can we find all your music at, and what's your website?
My website?
Yes. Where can we find all your music first, and your website?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I haven't got a website up at the moment. That went down a fair while ago, and but we'll get that back up. But they can contact me definitely on Facebook or through any of the media portals. Just contact me. I will certainly come back to there if anyone wants to sort of have a chat or whatever. Definitely on Facebook. You'll find me on Facebook. I'm on it all the time.
I could tell. I saw some of your amazing posts, comments, and everything like that. We will certainly check you out, and check out Don Allen, best known as the Don on Facebook. And if you missed the link where you can reach him, we'll go over that as well. We're here with the multi-talented Don Allen, best known as the Don from New Zealand, now living in Queensland, Australia. Here on Mike Wagner Show with Suzanne plus Hold Your Head High, and also a surprise release that'll be coming up as well at the end of the audio view. And just a couple more things, Don. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence in
your career, yes.
The current influence.
Who is your biggest influence in your career?
In my career?
Yes.
My biggest influence really is Presley, to be quite honest. But as I say, my biggest influence in my early days was Conway Twitty, and Johnny Cash did play a part too, I tell you.
Oh yeah, who can't forget Johnny Cash? One of my personal favorites. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. He must have hit Australia as well too. He's been all over too, and he might have snuck by in the backwoods somewhere. So
oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
The best advice?
Mm-hmm.
Good question. Believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in yourself. Don't worry about the knockers or anybody else out there. Believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important as well, too. Here with the amazing multi-talented Don Allen, best known as Don with Suzanne, plus Hold Your Head High and more on the Mike Wagner Show. Don, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. Once again, what's your website or how do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
They definitely can go to YouTube, Spotify,
all digital platforms.
Yeah, coming onto my Facebook page for sure. And yeah, I'm just looking here. Website. I will put the website up once I get it up and running again, but it actually all crashed on me. So yeah, but other than that, definitely they can contact me through Facebook, through my Facebook page, if they need to.
And what's the Facebook page?
It's basically Don Allen Official. They can come to Don Allen Official. That's my showbiz page. And so from there, I mean, then I'll answer them from there. Yeah, that's all good.
Okay, we'll certainly check that out. I'm going to go to Facebook right now and check it out as well. Once again, Don, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. We wish you all the best. And Don, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
I thank you so much for your time, and big hi to all your listeners out there.